Hello, and welcome back. This is a little preview of what we're going to be making today. This is an audio reactive project, so pretty fun. It's really not that hard to do, and as you can see, it's something where there's a lot of personalizing that you can do later on. So some of the things I'm testing here are better than others, but it's really a project where you can do so much yourself and really get it to the point where you want, or if you're live mapping, you can adjust things as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. It's pretty straightforward, but it's a little weird. So, but I think it's gonna be fine. I hope you enjoy and you make something cool and you have fun. Alright, so that's what we're gonna be making. And for the sake of the tutorial, gonna leave it like this, but as you saw with the feedback edge at the end, there's a lot of different possibilities. So this one is definitely weird, but it's audio reactive, and I like how it turned out. I'm, as always, very open to any suggestions or critique or feedback. As we see here, what's happening is we have nothing appearing. And then once the groove and rhythm of the music comes in, that's when we start to see our visuals appear. So anyways, we're gonna see what we can do together to make this. So you're gonna start by putting down a ramp. These are my settings on my ramp. This one is radial, phase -1, period 10. Repeat, same as left, linear, anti-alias 4, fit horizontal. Pre-multiply RGB by alpha. Ramp 2, radial, phase 0, period 1. Repeat, same as left, linear, anti-alias 4, fit horizontal, pre-multiply RGB by alpha on. And so now both of these are going to go into a noise top. We have monochrome off and simplex 3D GPU, seed 1, period 2, harmonics 2, harmonic spread 2. And if you want to go ahead and already put this code in, you can. You can pause and put that in, but since we haven't set up our sound audio analysis yet, you can also wait till later. Afterwards, yeah, so stuff gets a little crazy. So from your noise, you're going to go into another noise, and you're going to go into a comp that goes to another noise. I also didn't organize this very well. Okay, so let's go to, so we have this first noise we just dealt with. Let's go to our other noise, which is going to be on the top input of the comp later on, with the first noise. So we have our first noise, now we're on our second noise. Here again, simplex 3D GPU, seed is all the way up, harmonics 5, harmonic spread 0, harmonic gain 0, exponent 1, amplitude 0.5. And then the period and the offset are also going to be controlled by our audio. Then we have our comp top. The operation is multiply. And once again, with those two initial noise tops, your comp is going to go into a feedback. And the feedback is going to go into a level. So you can just put down your feedback. These are what my level settings are at. So pre invert 0, black level 0, brightness 1, gamma 0.55, contrast 1.14, range in high 1, out high 1. RGBA is looking like this. In post, gamma 1, opacity 1, brightness 1. And then both the level and the next noise are going to go into a remap. So you can already, if you want, put down the remap. In the remap, these are my settings. Resolution source is the source image, horizontal source red, vertical source green, extend 0, interpolation is linear. Okay, so for now, hopefully all is good. It's pretty basic tops. So we have our ramps, noise, which is going into a comp. We have our other noise going into the same comp. The comp going into a feedback, feedback going into a level, level going into a remap. Attached to the remap is another noise, which is also going to be attached to our initial noise. In this noise, it's also simplex 3D GPU, seed 1, period 0.13, harmonic 6, harmonic spread 2, harmonic gain 0.73, exponent 0.54. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Amplitude 0.2. So, yep, now we're there. So we've got this whole setup, which is basically, it's kind of the base of what we're going to be working with later on. And yeah, I'm sorry, it's really bizarre. Okay, so now we are going to put down a line. So you'll put down your line, and your settings for your line are point A 0, 0, 0, point B, point I have mine at 0.0002, number of points 5, texture coordinates unit. Going into a geo, translate OP to remap 1, RBG. And so now the remap is there. And then a constant as well. And then under render, your material is going to be your constant. Okay, so moving on. I hope it's all good. Everything's pretty classic in my other situations there. Yep, nothing else to do. Okay, and then putting down a camera. These are my personal camera settings. Translate 0.5, 0.5, 3.55031. Rotate 000. Scale 111. Pivot negative 1.5, negative 1.5, negative 8. Uniform scale 1. View of the projection is perspective. Viewing angle, horizontal FOV. FOV angle 45. Near 0.1. Far is all the way up. So yeah. And yeah, and then you're going to put down your render. And I didn't crop mine, but you might need to crop yours. Sometimes that changes a lot for me personally. So, yeah. Okay. So, now more important stuff. So, your feedback loop is going to be looking at your render. All right. And that's everything for now. So by the time that you have render, you will have basically nothing. So that's fun. You should have just little teeny little particles going on. Okay. I know. It's just what's happening. And then for the audio part, you're going to put audio file in. You can also see for putting an audio device in and seeing how that works out for you. You'll also need an audio device out so that you can hear the music. And then an audio analysis. And in my audio analysis, I have these settings. And the rhythm threshold is quite high. So yeah. After, you're going to do a select and name your channel SMSD. And so now this is like what's fun is, and I spent a really long time figuring out how to make this audio reactive and fun. So these are where I put the channel. So in this noise, towards the beginning here, I have it on my period and on my offset. In this noise, I have it on my harmonic gain and my offset. So those first two noises are a bit different. Of course, you can try it in other places too. Do whatever you want. And then in this noise, it's just on the offset. So, yeah. And then, it's also in my bloom, in the intensity of the bloom. So those are the things that are going to change, which will affect in the end what's going on here. After your render, you're going to put down a bloom. These are the settings in your bloom. Pre-black level 0.01, pre-gamma 2.63, pre-brightness 1.02, minimum bloom radius 0, maximum 0.953, bloom threshold 0.001, bloom S-curve 0.0898, bloom fill 0.735, bloom intensity 1.08. Output is input and bloom. Voila. And after that, add a little edge. Black level 0, strength 1, sample step 1 into your feedback. Okay, so basically we have nothing, and then we put down our feedback edge. And I'm pretty obsessed with this. It's in your palette. Anyways, so I love feedback edge, and here these are what my settings are. Voila. Source gain 2. I also have my source tint color white, and you will really see, like, when you're doing this, how big of a difference it makes your source and your edge color on the visuals. So here we'll see them start to appearing again. So if you want to use the exact values, that's totally fine. But you see it's completely changes what we have going on. So you can really do so much with that. I think it's kind of cool like this as well, honestly. And then same with your scale, you can do a lot. So yeah, all of those are things to mess around with once you finish building yours. And one other thing that I showed earlier also, whoa, that's so cool, was kind of making this shape. What's so trippy? So yeah, that's, oh no, that's not everything, sorry. So then you are gonna go to your bloom. I have my intensity of my bloom also connected to the audio. And this is what my bloom situation is. Once again, I'm always gonna say this, but once again, that's super personal decisions that you can make for having to have a different result. So, but those are my settings. And then RGB key is what is making your background black. So I always put that on. And then we have in out going into our window. Window operator is out 1. And then we have our visual. And yeah, can totally do other stuff with the bloom too. Really, it's super customizable. So that's everything. I hope you enjoyed this. And it's not too complicated to do, so I think everyone should be fine making this. But if you have any questions, you can always ask in the comments, and I will get back to you. And I'm also going to put this file up in my Patreon. So if you want to skip the steps, the link for that will be in the description. Yeah, thank you everyone so much. I'm really happy that everyone in the world. No, but it's cool that people are actually interested in watching my videos. I was not at all expecting that when I put one thing and I got 1,000 views, and that is 1,000 more than I expected. And I've been really geeking out on Touch Designer. So, you know, it's nice, when people like to see what you're doing. Anyways, appreciate you, and bye. Sorry. Bye.